Today we're going to tackle a topic that many of us face at one point or another in our journey toward fulfilling our purpose in God, and that's staying hopeful during times of delay. We all want progress, we want things to move forward, but sometimes things don't happen as quickly as we expect. The journey feels slow, prayers seem unanswered, and it can be difficult to keep the faith. Romans 12 verse 12 encourages us, be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. This verse reminds us that delays don't mean God is absent. They're an opportunity for us to grow in patience and faith even when progress feels slow. So, how can we keep our faith strong when progress feels slow? It's a question that many of us wrestle with, especially when we feel like we're waiting for God to move, but things aren't happening as quickly as we'd like. We've all experienced that frustration, haven't we? You feel like you're praying, you're doing everything right, but things just don't seem to be changing. The struggle here is losing hope when prayers seem unanswered. It's easy to think that because we don't see immediate results, God isn't working, but that's simply not true. God is always at work, even when we can't see it. Delays are not signs of God's absence. They're part of His plan to prepare us for what He has ahead. The negative consequence of losing hope during delays is that we can end up drifting into discouragement or even abandoning our faith. We may begin to doubt God's goodness or His timing. We might start thinking that maybe we're not meant for what we're hoping for, or that it's never going to happen. That discouragement is a dangerous place to be because it can keep us from continuing in faith and hope. God's delays are not His denials, and it's important to remember that His timing is perfect, even when we can't see the full picture. So, how can we stay hopeful and keep our faith strong during delays? The first thing to remember is that God's timing is different from ours. We live in a fast-paced world where we're used to instant gratification. We want answers now, and we want progress quickly. But God operates on a different timeline, and His timing is always perfect. Romans 12 verse 12 tells us to be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. That means that while we wait, we have a choice. We can choose joy and hope. Instead of focusing on what isn't happening, we can shift our focus to what God is already doing and trust that He is working all things together for our good, as we read in Romans 8 verse 28. In the waiting, we can continue to be faithful in prayer. Just because the answer hasn't come yet doesn't mean that God isn't listening. Prayer isn't just about asking God for things. It's about building a relationship with Him, trusting in His plan, and aligning our hearts with His. Even when we don't see immediate progress, God hears our prayers and He is working on our behalf. Patience doesn't mean passivity. Be active in your hope. Stay engaged with God through prayer, worship, and service. Do the right thing even if it feels small or insignificant. Trust that God is preparing you for what's to come, and when the time is right, everything will fall into place. Are you ready to stay hopeful and faithful even in the delays? Well, I've got a mini course that helps you discover and live out your God-given purpose with clarity and confidence. If this sounds like something you'll be interested in, click on the button below this page to find out more. God is faithful, even when progress feels slow. Delays are not signs of abandonment. They are opportunities for growth, refinement, and preparation. Stay joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. Trust that God is at work, and in His perfect timing you will see His promises fulfilled. Be blessed, and remember, you are only one revelation away.